Hello, soul family.
Hello, beautiful people.
How are you guys doing? We've missed you. I know you guys have missed us too. 2023 has been absolutely crazy, has it not? Like, seriously, it's already February something today, and I don't even know where the time went, where January went. And if you guys had to ask me, oh my God, EldoRa and Siman, how are you guys feeling in 2023? I would say to you, I don't even know how to answer that. And many of you, and that's a good thing.
I would say 2023 energies are knocking our socks off.
Yeah, 2023, if I had to give you an energy update of what I see when I tune in through my inner vision, January and February are just processing months. And till the end of March, like Siman and I were just talking, March 26th seems to be that phase where the energies currently will be wrapped up and forward momentum will begin. And what I mean by that is like January, February, what we're being shown are literally the months where you process everything that has happened in 2022 for you. You've gone through so much change. You've gone through so many upgrades. We've had so much momentum. We've just kept going at light speed, at our soul's evolution, at our soul's ascension. We're doing so well. And guess what? We haven't even taken the time to pause and pat ourselves on the back and say, well done. We're just running around like scared little chickens saying, what do we do next? How come we're not on our soul's path? What do we do next? How do I get more guidance? We're always thinking in lack. We're always thinking in what have I not done? And literally, guys, these first 2 to 3 months of 2023 is just so we can all slow down to really process how far we've come and not keep running around, but instead process, harmonize, and be embodied in who we are.
Yeah, it seems that our society has completely forgotten about the wisdom of silence and the wisdom of resting and stillness. And that's what we're being asked to integrate back into our reality, because our society has become so fast-paced with all this information overload. We're constantly on our phones, we're constantly on the go, that we hardly have a chance to stop and absorb emotionally what frequencies we're feeling in our body. And that's what 3D to 5D is all about. 3D was when we were just putting our blindfolds on and going on autopilot. But when we start awakening, when there's a spiritual awakening within us, we start realizing that our bodies are processing so much energy. Our bodies are processing so many ancient memories that are coming up randomly. So many ancient emotions are coming up to be processed. So much trauma is coming up. You might be at work and suddenly you might be feeling like crying for no apparent reason.
You might have a panic attack for no reason.
These are all ascension symptoms, and this is what we're going to talk about in this video. But right now, what's most important, the message from Spirit, is that the intensity is so high that you're being asked to honor your body's needs and slow down. Slowing down is the biggest gift you can give yourself. And especially in these intense months when the solar activity is heightened. Since January of 2023, the solar activity has heightened immensely. It's like back-to-back solar waves hitting Earth. Just now, in the last week, we've had a little break from that. But
it's been crazy.
Yeah, the way EldoRa and I have been feeling these energies are just like disorientation. We feel disconnected from reality.
Completely
we feel
disconnected.
Out of our bodies.
Oh my
we feel
God.
like, I don't know if it's yesterday or today. I don't know what moment it is
and
anymore.
Worse, it's even worse, guys. It's even scarier. Sometimes I wake up and I'm literally like, what part of the world am I in?
Yeah.
I have to think, oh, okay, I'm in Phuket. I'm no longer in Croatia. Like, things are going way too fast.
Yeah, and also in these times is when we're feeling disoriented is when our ego consciousness, our logical brain suddenly kicks in and says, oh my God, why am I going in this
Yes.
state? Let me take back control.
Yes.
Let me make sure the boat is not sinking. And
What am I doing wrong?
What's on my to-do list? What am I forgetting? What am I not doing? And then suddenly you go into this panic frenzy, and it's caused by a state of confusion. And the whole confusion starts because these energies are intense, our bodies are feeling it, our nervous system is getting overloaded, but we're not giving our bodies a chance to rest and process these energies. So that's the biggest message coming in from Spirit right now. Give yourself time to just rest in stillness. Do nothing. Like at least for half an hour a day, you should give yourself a chance where your kids are not bothering you.
Not even
your
half an
families
hour.
are not bothering you. I'm saying
Way
minimum.
more.
Anyone
way
can
more.
muster that up.
I know it's kind of sad that we have to only think of 30 minutes to ourselves, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of sad that we live in a world.
But we make
that's
realistic
so powerful.
goals for ourselves. That's the whole key. Make your goals so realistic
Yes.
that you don't say, I'm going to do an hour every day. When
And
you
actually,
can't
let's
even
dive
afford
into
to
it
do that.
because the guides are saying dive into it and let people know how to even do that. So the message that Siman is trying to, I want to like really, really, really hit it home is that in these energies, the only way we can ride this wave is by surrendering. And I have learned this lesson in the last 2 weeks. When you feel like you haven't landed in your body, when you feel like you're spacey, when you feel like you're not able to focus at work, or when you feel like you're not just feeling like yourself and life still has to go on, I want to talk about this a little bit because life still has to go on, and that's what we're being trained on right now. It's not to say, okay, one compartment of my life needs my time. This is a very, very important message coming in. So the energy is saying, it's asking so much of us, right? To be a mom, to be a wife, to be a daughter, to show up at work, to make sure all our projects are going online, to make sure our diet is okay, to make sure our ascension is on schedule, to make sure we're like all of this stuff is happening at the same time. And the message coming in is to surrender. Instead of trying to control, we need to surrender to this energy and say, okay, energy, have your way with me. Go ahead, have your way with me. I'm going to let you have your way with me. And what does that mean? So this is what Siman and I have been following in the last 2 weeks, and it's been working really well. Instead of letting our mind and our ego take over and say, whoa, this is too unfamiliar for me, or this is too much for me, instead say, okay, I'm going to allow this energy to have its way with me. Meaning, if I have to rest right now, I'll rest. And half an hour later, I'll get back to work. After 2 hours of work, if I need another break to rest, I will rest then. If my children need me, like compartmentalize everything so that all parts of your life are functioning smoothly while you're surrendering to this energy.
Yeah, definitely.
It's super important to be able to do that right now because that's what the energy is asking of us.
Yeah, and it's not only about surrendering, it's also the fact that there's a new 5D operating system coming online.
Yes.
And it's training us on how to live consciously in each moment. And this is one of the biggest tips EldoRa and myself are going to give you since a long time. So pay attention. This is a huge teaching. There's a new operating system coming online. It's a 5D operating system that's teaching us how to separate from the linear way of living where we were on autopilot. In this operating system, you go moment by moment and you don't make any plans as far in the horizon as you can not make plans. So you plan your day on a general basis, but then you let things flow and you flow with the energies as much as possible. I mean, if you have to show up at work at 9, you show up at work at 9. But then within that, where you have flexibility, should I do this first? Should I do that first? You talk more to the energies and you begin to create a synergistic flow of your conscious awareness with this energy that's constantly flowing into you. So you're no longer living like a hermit, you're flowing with the universe. And in this new operating system, the way it works is you get your guidance when you're completely still. So when you are doing a task and you're done and you're not sure what to do next, you just meditate for 5 minutes. Even in your office, you can just like, don't get fired about this, but you can just close your eyes and say, higher self, show me what I'm supposed to do next. And then just blank out your mind. And then an energy will like pull you into a certain direction, and then you follow that direction. So if you follow this and you live life more consciously, and this also gets activated with conscious breathing. Right now we're being trained in conscious breathing and how to be presently aware and focused in each moment. Then you begin to synchronize with the higher intelligence of your higher self. And this is your super conscious mind. This is the mind that guides you in this frame of mind, is the mind that knows it all. It's the mind of God. So you're basically stepping aside and letting God to pilot your vessel, which is very, very powerful and exciting.
And this is such an important
it's
point.
You, it's your higher self.
Yes, let's explain this in another way as well, because this is so important for you guys to get. So just yesterday, someone in our team in the Office of Christ, Liara, she's like, I love how you guys can balance all of this and not have to work 12 hours a day. But that's what I want to share with you. How do you do this? How do you not put in 12 to 13 hours of day, which is ridiculous, and still balance all of your work? It's by tapping into this higher operating system that every single one of you has access to. So anything that Siman and I do, whether it's designing our website, which we're doing, we're redesigning our new website, or anything, we're planning a course, or we're planning our New Earth Mystery School curriculum, whatever we do, we're not doing it from our head. What we do, and this is how we're teaching you how to access this intelligence field. Instead of thinking in a linear way, saying, let me map out the next 3 months, what Siman and I do is we allow ourselves, we give us the space, the creative brainstorming space to pull ourselves back and just look at life and see where this energy wants to take us, to see where spirit wants to flow through us, to see what spirit wants us to do next. Should we build a website, or maybe we should not? Maybe we should go do something else. Maybe we should make this video. So what that really means is energy is telling us when to make a video, when to not make a video, when to leave you guys alone, when to come back, when to do NEMs,
when
what
to
do
focus on
in
our
NEMs.
healing, when to go introverted, when to go outroverted. And also a big component of this operating system is silence. That's the key component. It's not doing like a 3D matrix slave is more like linear. That's how we've been operating. Constantly doing, okay, move from one task to another, whatever, just look around, whatever's there needing to be done, do that next.
That is
but
very
this operating
3D,
system depends on your silence, and it requires you to silence your mind to some extent and be able to connect with your inner guidance, with your inner feelings. So this operating system may not start right away if you've been operating in a 3D fashion for decades, but it can start in small phases. So what I recommend you to do is just start 5 minutes, start taking 5-minute breaks between everything you do, and connect with your guidance about what you need to do next. And always be honest about your feelings, because this operating system is based on feelings. So if you get this thought that I should make a video on social media, but that's just seeming so difficult and all the obstacles seem to come up when you try to do that thing, then that means the operating system is telling you you're not supposed to do that. You're never supposed to go uphill. You're supposed to recognize between ego resistance and what's actually not feeling right for that moment, but you're not supposed to go uphill in this operating system. You're supposed to go with the flow of the energy, and whatever you're focusing on, always, by a rule of thumb, feels like you're going downhill. And it's a very powerful way of being.
Yes. So guys, this video we were guided to make about your transition from 3D to 5D. We're all, as you guys know, walking this amazing journey that we call in many different words. Some of you call it life, some of us call it ascension, some of us call it spirituality, self-development, self-mastery, walking the ascended mastery path, whatever you want to call it. What we really want to remind everybody today, and this message is coming in from your guides, is that despite all the confusion, despite all the parts of your life that you may feel like are not going well, or despite all the things that you feel you may not be doing right, the guides are reminding you that you are exactly where you are meant to be right now. You are exactly where you are meant to be. In fact, you are doing better than you think, better than you are capable of conceiving, because when we look at you, and this is your guides, when we look at you, all we see is how beautifully you have drawn yourself out of the matrix, how beautifully you have extracted yourself out of the density that surrounds you, and how you are slowly, just like the butterfly, moving out, having your own beautiful transformation, your own beautiful chrysalis, and coming out from a caterpillar to this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful butterfly. And the guides are reminding you today that 3D to 5D, what is it? 3D is the third dimensional reality that you all know of. It's this dual, it's this very stuck, compressed, dense reality. It feels like you're stuck in the matrix. It feels like there's no joy to life. It feels like mundane. You're just going to work, you're paying debt, you're getting university, like loans. Even to get married, you have to take a loan. You don't resonate with religion anymore. Like, this is 3D. It's very controlling. Religion,
it's basically
domination.
The consumer matrix and the banking structure that has dominated the 3D matrix and created this kind of self-propagating frequency controlled prison So it may sound a bit extreme, but it actually is a frequency controlled prison. But there's a good side, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, to the effect that when we realize that this matrix is just here to show us what we're lacking and what we need to master within ourselves. For example, your addiction to food can lock you into the matrix, because if you want to constantly eat like 3D, like starchy food, fatty food, fast food, all the food that's dense and feels good to your body, but it's only for feeding your lower self, that's an example of being stuck in the 3D matrix, because the 3D matrix traps you through food, it traps you through addictions, it traps you through finances, like your mortgages, it traps you through your job, like you have no time to spend on your own self-development because you have to like spend all your day doing labor, otherwise you won't have money to pay your bills. So this is how the matrix revolves and encapsulates all aspects of your life, including mainstream media. That's one of the biggest part of the matrix. This is all part of the 3D matrix. The mainstream media, how it completely brainwashes us. We've been force-fed a steady diet of media from all sources: movies, television, news, TV shows, advertising. Advertising is the worst when it comes to subliminal messages. But all of these media companies that are constantly bombarding us, they're controlled by 6 corporations, and these 6 corporations are controlled by a few elite banking families of the world. And these banking families are the trillionaires that we don't even hear of in the news. But these are the families that control the entire society. They're the 0.001% that control the 99.999%. So that's the premise of this matrix. So,
and right now, what are we doing? This is the golden opportunity. Where do you want to take this next? There's so much we want to share here.
Yeah, so this whole video is about the transition from the 3D matrix. There comes a point of inflection in our life where we begin to question life, where we begin to question our surroundings, our friendships, our relationships, our job, our preferences,
our values.
Yeah.
Our values, our beliefs, our everything. Like, why do we do this? Just because our parents asked us to? Why do we start questioning everything? And this can be triggered by anything. Like for me, my awakening was triggered by my father's passing. As soon as his spirit left his body, literally something happened within me, and I was able to perceive life from another dimension.
Yeah.
Right? Or a near-death experience can trigger it.
Yeah, near-death experience usually comes in, there's like life-changing scenarios that occur. Suddenly, like you don't resonate with your partner anymore. Suddenly your 3D relationships with your family seem hollow. You can't do small talk anymore. You suddenly develop an interest in crystals and spirituality and astrology.
You start meditating.
Yeah. Things that never used to interest you suddenly begin to interest you. You get heightened emotions, you get heightened sensitivity to energy. When you enter a room, you can like suddenly sense how people are feeling, and you can even sense how people are feeling towards you specifically. So you become very psychic and very empathic, but at the same time, you become very much in tune with who you want to be with and who you don't want to be with. You can't take bullshit anymore.
Yes.
So people's lies, they pierce you. In the past, maybe like when your spouse would lie to you, you would like know it's a lie but tolerate it. But now it'll stab you and be like, what the fuck? Why are you lying? So it becomes very sensitive.
Right.
And you go through so many personality changes of your own. You suddenly don't even recognize yourself in the mirror. Like you look at yourself and you're like, oh my God, I used to like this food last year. I can't even tolerate it anymore.
Or when all your friends are going to watch the hockey game, you're like, what the hell is this obsession with hockey? Like everything changes. Yeah. But what we want to really talk to you about, and many of you are familiar with this concept of 3D to 5D. But what happens is there's an actual dimensional portal that sits on top of 3D Earth that connects us directly to 5D Earth, to a 5D, a 5th dimensional reality that's far different from this 3rd dimensional reality that we just talked about. So this is kind of what we want to talk to you about in this video. And many of you are already on your way from 3D to 5D. Many of you are kind of in 4D. Most of you are in, like there's a lot of people, I just speak these terms very loosely, but every tier has its own set of curriculum that comes with it. So let's say some of you are in, let's say, lower 4D. All that means is you're accessing lower 4D consciousness or mid 4D consciousness, and you're going through this dimensional portal to the fifth dimension. And we're going to explain it with a diagram in a minute. But what we want to take you through in this video is, irrespective of where you are vibrating, you are right now being asked to unfold the next step of your curriculum in your life. So we'll through a few examples and we'll see where this video goes. But we're going to talk about the transition from 3D to 5D and what's next. What's required next of you. All right, so we're going to pull up a diagram here. You'll see to the bottom left side, you'll see 3D Earth. On the top right side, you'll see another sphere. This is 5D Earth. So 3D Earth is Earth as we knew it for the last several thousands of years. It's a third density planet, completely controlled, there's like a lot of poverty, there's a lot of lack, there's a lot of war, there's a lot of suffering. And now we're exiting this 3D Earth and moving into the fifth dimensional state of being. But what is this 4D portal? That's what we want to talk to you about today. So this 4D portal is really like a portal where nothing can pass through other than your soul. So your ego doesn't get to go through this portal, which is why all your ego lessons come up in this 4D portal. It's like a very, very fine-tuned portal where you cannot take any baggage with you. That's not required. That's not representative of who you are. Who are you? You're a divine being. You're a God being. You're a prime. You are source in physical embodiment. So in 4D is where, depending on whether you've just entered the 4D tunnel, which is called the early 4D, early parts of 4D, or if you're mid 4D, what happens in this 4D tunnel is all of your blind spots are shown to you. You realize who you are. Who am I? What do I like? What are my beliefs? What are the beliefs I don't recognize or resonate with? Who are the people in my life? Where am I throwing around my energy in an unconscious way? Where am I allowing people to trample over me in an unconscious way? Where am I letting people push my boundaries? Where am I not in my power? Where am I not speaking my truth? Where am I not in full mastery? And in this 4D portal, the ego tries its best to keep you stuck in density. The ego tries its very best to keep you going down, back into making choices that support 3D, the third dimensional Earth. And you, through this journey that we call self-evolution, self-development, ascension, is that we go through this portal and we get to a point where we start peaking into 5D New Earth. And Siman and I are in that frequency. We're literally peaking. It feels like we're not physically embodied in the fifth dimension, but I would say 95% of the time, we're literally like peaking into this new dimension that exists right here, but we're not physically there. And so we see our lessons that are still needed to be fine-tuned to get there. And many of you are in that phase where you're getting all of your lessons in this beautiful tunnel that we call 4D.
Yeah, I would have to say that our personal life has been quite magical in this journey from 3D to 4D to 5D. We were actually in 3D like not long ago, like 8-9 years ago when we met, like 2014 and before that.
Oh my gosh.
She was like owning a business. I was like a full-fledged software developer, and completely like I was aware of spirituality. She was completely not aware of it. And we were just going about our business, and we met, we fell in love, and suddenly our meeting, and sometimes this can happen to people. Sometimes you meet someone, sometimes you meet someone who's your soulmate and stays with you for the rest of your life, as in our case.
I know.
And then sometimes you fall in love for a few months and then break up, but that relationship can also trigger an awakening. And everything that happens in your life, there's a significance to it, there's a meaning to it. So our meeting caused our awakening.
Which was in 2013.
In 2013. Before that, we didn't have psychic
powers. It was love at first sight. We were crazy about each other. We were both married. We didn't know why the hell we were feeling such attraction, crazy attraction towards each other.
Yeah.
And to cut a long story short, after 3 months of denying this feeling, we got together and the rest was history. It was love from day one. It wasn't, he literally said, I care you, because I think it's too early to say I love you. I'm like, it's fine, we can say I love you right now.
And something else that happened, it was not just love at first sight. We realized that we had a soul contract to be spiritual teachers on earth. and bring about all these changes.
And guys, what he means by this is honestly, every step of the way, our guides have been whispering. I know this may sound crazy to some of you, and this may sound extremely familiar to some of you, but it's exactly what's happened in our lives. The guides would literally whisper into our ears even when we were not fully awake yet. So in this case, they said to him a long time ago, 10 years ago, 9 years ago, they said, you both will be pillars of, these were the exact words, I'm not even paraphrasing. You both will be pillars of a community. People will travel all over the world to see you. You will be leaders of peace. And what else did they say? Something like that.
Yeah, it was
that much I remember clearly.
Very short
it was very
transmission.
brief.
It wasn't long.
So we're like, okay, leaders. I don't know what that means. Community. What community? Like
spiritual community.
No, they didn't say spiritual. That's why we were confused. They're like, what community is this? We had no idea. But they said, and recently we held the Croatia festival, we've held the Miami festival, we've held all these festivals, and we realized, holy shit, people buy tickets to come to these events, and that's what the guides meant. So everything in our life has been shown to us, and we're just living up that dream. And I can tell you guys, the timelines are magnificent, you guys.
I even got this guidance before anything ever occurred when we first met, that people from all over the world will come to our events to see us.
And the guides even
why
said...
would anyone fly over the world to come see us?
And when we used to tell the guides
that didn't make any sense.
They would say, for your vibration. And we're like, what? Us? Like, it was so crazy. I don't even know how to explain it. This was like 10 years ago.
We didn't even know all these spiritual concepts, but it's been a crazy ride. But also what happened after we met is that our spiritual senses started opening up. Like I remember this one day vividly when she was working in her cafe that she owned. She was taking a lunch break and she came and sat in the car and we were both holding hands. Suddenly a surge of energy started and she felt energy for the first time from my hands. And I'm a natural healer, so energy runs very strong within me. Even my like unawakened mom felt energy in my body. That's how much it's tangible. So she felt it. And she's like, what is that? I feel it. I'm like, of course you feel it. It's energy. This is what I've been talking about.
So triggered.
I used to talk to her about this energy all the time, and she was like, what is he talking about? This she foo foo. Like,
I'm like, what's Reiki?
This doesn't even exist.
Angels? What the hell? Like,
she thought I'd gone bananas.
And guys,
but that's
honestly,
when she started believing me.
Not just, I believed everything. I went into
But I mean experiencing.
I experienced everything. That's why I'm such a believer. You can't bullshit me. We've had encounters with angels, you guys. The first encounter that we had was with Saint Germain, and all of this happened in our 3D to 5D tunnel. In that 4D tunnel is where all of this happened. So first of all, our spiritual gifts started coming online. We were told that we have a soul mission to help humanity awaken. We were told that we had this soul mission to be one of the first leaders to birth 5D New Earth, and that we would do it through House of Ra, we would do it through our mystery school, we would do it through all of our avenues, and then suddenly our community would become the 5D community of New Earth. We were told all of this like throughout our lives, but to see it happening in front of our eyes is like a miracle unfolding that we can't explain, seriously.
Yeah, and I can sense that some of you, some people may be feeling frustrated, like, yeah, you guys are EldoRa and Siman, you get like crazy kind of guidance, but we don't. Like, what am I supposed to do? So what the biggest tip I can give you is that we're all guided. The facts that differentiate our path from yours may be the fact that you're receiving guidance, but it's too cuckoo for your mind to believe it. Like if somebody told us like 8 years ago, when like we didn't know anything about anything, if somebody told us that you're going to be DJs at festivals, I'd be like, yeah, fine, I can believe I will be a DJ. But if somebody told me she'll be next to me DJing, I'll be like, no way, what?
Exactly. Like, but we believed everything,
and
not only, and we followed
it.
We
when
acted
we get guidance,
on it.
we actually jump on it. You actually have to grab all these threads and pursue them.
Yes.
That's when the universe opens its gates to you.
Like when they said, EldoRa, you're going to be DJing, when my guides told me that, 3 years ago, I told Amber, who now works for the Office of Christ, and she reminded me in Croatia, she's like, EldoRa, remember that day in Toronto 3 years ago when we were walking around? You said that your guide said you will be playing at some of the biggest festivals in the world, and you told me that I can't believe you're DJing. And I'm like, holy shit. So this is a very important point. All of you are guided. Every single one of us is guided. But are you listening to your guidance? Are you in a state where you're calm enough, quiet enough to even allow this guidance to come in? And even more important, until you're in a harmonized state, and this is actually a lesson I want to share with you for those of you who are already in 4D, but you're like, okay, I've already mastered so much. I'm kind of like in mid 4D. How do I go up? So what I'm seeing right now is that there's a lot of ego self-sabotage programs coming in. So this 4D tunnel is all about ego self-sabotage. That's why you need to know how to navigate this 4D tunnel, slippery as an eel, because literally you're trying to squirm through this tunnel without like grabbing onto all the gunk. You want to just squirm through it, slippery as an eel. And the message coming in for all of you who are already on your path of mastery, but you're getting frustrated because there's so many different belief systems coming at you. So for example, let's say what example can I give you? Let's say you're a mom, and one part of you wants to really soar as this ascension warrior, be a manager, be a leader, like go into your soul's path and do whatever your soul wants you to do, to express yourself and stand in your glory. Because I know someone personally who's going through this. And let's say another part of you says, I'm a homeschooling parent and my child needs me full time. These are two extremely conflicting energies. Like one side, your child wants you, one side, your office demands you. What do you do? Like your passion. So this right now, for those of you who are going into your mastery, this is the message coming in right now. Let me articulate the guides exactly. So what they're saying is, right now you're being asked to be a master of all aspects of your life. Meaning you can't just compartmentalize and say, I will do this, but I will ignore this. Or I will do all of this and I will ignore this. Right now you're being asked the next phase for you to go higher into your 4D compartment. And many of you need to hear this. This is being highlighted in my head, in my mind, in my psychic vision, is that you now need to really, and this takes me back to what Siman was saying earlier. Surrender to the energies, and every single moment know what this energy is asking of you. One moment the energy is about being the best mother in the world. The next hour might be you saying, I need my own time. Like you have to know how to manage all of these compartments of your life while moving forward in mastery. This is a big one coming in.
Yeah. So other than that, I would also say that you can't focus on all aspects of your life at once. Mastery also requires us to realize where we are overgiving or where we are out of balance. So and I'm not speaking to anyone's particular example, but one example could be that if your children are being too demanding of you, then it could mean that your parenting style is not working. In 5D, you're a master in all aspects of your life. Right. That's what 5D is. 5D is mastery. It's not like just being a master in your business as an entrepreneur, but sucking at life. Right. You have to be a master in your family and your business. So either you could be giving your business too much, like you're doing many things that eventually end up in no results, or you could be parenting your children out of guilt for not spending enough time with them, and that guilt is what your children are feeding off of and saying, oh no, I feel the guilt, I can get more out of you, I can get more out of you. So basically, it's about realizing where your energy is being spent and spending it masterfully. And we cannot do that from our own conscious mind. We have to connect with our higher intelligence in order to even gain the wisdom of this higher level operating system. And what we mean by 3D, 4D, and 5D is that these are just levels of consciousness which are like our operating system within our own awareness. So 3D is like your iPhone 3, 4D is like your iPhone 4, then 5D is like iPhone 5, or right now we're at 13 or 14, whatever, but you get the idea. These are all like levels of upgrades that your consciousness has gone through, and 4D consciousness looks at the world with a certain vision. 5D consciousness looks at it with a different set of rules. So that's the premise. So what is 3D? We've already explained what is 3D, the matrix, the banking, the media, the brainwashing, the being stuck in this perpetual cycle of misery and slavery. Then what happens? Your consciousness evolves, your consciousness shifts. You suddenly become aware of your spiritual aspect, which nobody has ever spoken to you about. Or religions have kind of like made a mockery of your spirit because they completely make us feel disconnected from God. So you may be let down by religion, you may be seeking answers within your own soul about what is life, what am I here to do, there's got to be more to this 9 to 5 grind. That's when your soul starts seeking answers. These are existential questions. These are some of the most important questions you'll ever ask in your life. Like, who am I? What am I doing? Why am I here? What is my purpose? When you ask these questions, a conversation begins with your higher self, basically with Source, with all of creation. A dialogue begins, and this whole process of transformation begins. And this process of transformation is usually a state of spiritual energy rising like the kundalini through the spine. So this is the phase where many people know as a kundalini awakening, which means suddenly your spiritual energy starts to rise from your spine, from the base of your root, from the base of your spine, all the way up through your chakras. And what happens is that as this energy is rising, many blocks are encountered. Like if you have blocks about abundance in your root chakra and your kundalini starting to rise, you're suddenly, all your shit's gonna come up. All your abundance blocks are gonna come up. And the way it works is, I'll explain a very, very powerful way of looking at this world. What you carry within your chakras, let's say you carry a wound within your chakra. Let's say your wound is, I am not financially supported. Let's say your wound started in the root chakra at the age of 2 years old. It could have started from the fact that your father never gave you enough pocket money. So you felt scarce. You always felt, oh my God, I don't have enough money. I get this measly $5 a month and I need to, whatever I need to provide for myself, I'll do it with this, and this is all I have. So you develop this belief that the world is scarce and that I have very limited resources to operate from. Now this becomes like if your root chakra was a glass, this would become a scratch on the surface of the glass. Now as you go through life, your root chakra is like the projector, right? Your root chakra is like the lens of your reality. We have 7 chakras. So we're like a projector with 7 lenses constantly pointing and creating our reality through our belief systems. So your root chakra now has a stain on its lens. The stain is abundance. I don't have enough. Now wherever you're projecting your soul's energy, you're going to be asking your soul to show you examples where there's not enough. So you're going to get a job where you don't get paid enough. You don't get any raises. Your boss doesn't appreciate you. You may get financial bad luck. You may lose money. You may lose things. Or you may just like never have enough savings in your account, no matter how hard you try. You're still looking for answers in your life based on your logical mind. But when you start to see them through the intelligence of your chakras and spirituality, it'll change the whole game for you. You'll suddenly become a master of this operating system because you'll suddenly realize that all the power is and has always been within your own hands. Now what do? You suddenly, when you become spiritually aware, you're going through this 4D tunnel, you're realizing, oh my God, I have chakras, I have these limiting beliefs in my chakras. I'm projecting my holographic reality through these chakras and I'm attracting scenarios from this world to affirm to me what my beliefs are about this universe. So the universe is basically showing me what my beliefs are. So how do you change your reality? You do healing work on your chakras. It's not like you don't just go from A to Z and say, oh, I'm abundant, I'm just going to overwrite the program. That's not how it works. You have to go deep into the chakra and do healing work. And for that, you can see healers, you can do your own therapy, you can learn Reiki, but Reiki is very basic. You need to go, that's just the basics. You need to educate yourself on how to get to the root cause of these issues, whether with your own help or with the help of experts, and learn how to extract all of these limiting beliefs from your chakras. Now, when you clear the lens of your chakras, what happens? Suddenly life reflects a different reality to you. If you go to a healer and he extracts this limiting belief that life is limited and you're not supported, suddenly you may get a job offer. This is exactly how the universe works. If you think you're not believing me, then you need to believe in yourself, because I'm not here to convince anyone.
This is how it
But
works.
this is exactly how reality works. This is how our reality has proven to us over and over and over and over. That
And that
as
is
we
why-
change our
yes.
internal state, our external state reflects that change.
Exactly, and that's why we're always giving. And this actually brings me to my next point, which is perfect. And Siman, that was amazing. That was so amazing, because that was actually what I feel like so many people really, really needed to hear. And what I'm also getting right now is that the root chakra right now is the one that's going in maximum panic.
Yeah.
The root chakra is all about your foundation, your stability. It's about your comfort zone. It's about just stability, basically. And the root chakra right now, the ego is going crazy because the root chakra doesn't have any stability. The root chakra doesn't have any full knowing. It's being asked to jump into this unknown territory that feels scary, that feels overwhelming, that feels very, very bizarre to it. So what's happening right now is that all of your root chakra fears are coming up, and right now I'm getting that all of you can do this right now. You can just close your eyes, take a deep breath. Let's do it together. Deep breath in, exhale out from your mouth. Let's do it once more. Deep breath in, I am okay.
I am okay.
Earth is safe.
Earth is safe.
I am safe.
I am safe.
I am fully guided.
I am fully guided.
I am fully protected.
I am fully protected.
I am exactly where I am meant to be.
I am exactly where I'm meant to be.
I was always okay.
I was always okay.
I am okay.
I am okay.
And I will always be okay.
And I will always be okay.
Earth is safe.
Earth is safe.
I am safe.
I am safe.
So you see what you've done now? You've actually sent trillions and trillions of cells, new commands within your own operating system saying, Earth is safe, I am safe. And there's a beautiful sunset to demonstrate what we're saying. But you see how everything changes. So your guides are reminding, in fact, even we're going to start doing this to constantly remind ourselves that Earth is safe. This is a big one even for me. I've always felt like Earth is so unsafe. The people on Earth are so unsafe. You never know where you have to look behind your shoulder. You never know. It's just been through my entire life.
Yeah.
And so doing these affirmations will really start reprogramming your subconscious mind. And it's as simple as that. And before we go into that, there's a little exercise I had written down for you before coming on. You can write this down. Either now you can pause the video and write it down. Literally take a pen and paper and go into your own quiet time and write down, where am I feeling burdened? Where am I feeling burdened? So let's say you have a burden and then you start going deeper into, okay, why do I have this burden? Then you go into the belief system. So first you write down the actual burden. I feel like I don't have enough money. But whatever it is, you go to the belief system. What is the belief system? It could be, I am not supported by the universe. Or the belief system could be, I am not capable of making money. Or the belief system could be, money is evil. Or the belief system could be, I don't know how to make money. All of these are belief systems. Once you write it down, you then realize, okay, I'm feeling all this burden, but burden is just a camouflage of these limiting belief systems. So I need to reprogram my mind and say, I am supported. I know how to manifest money. How do I manifest more abundance? By being abundant, by feeling abundant, by treating myself to things that make me feel good, not necessarily with money, but by feeling the abundance of the planet around me, the ocean, the forest, the river, the trees, the sun. Sitting in the sun and basking in that abundance will then make you a magnet for more abundance. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm asking you to put yourself in that state of abundance by simply doing things that make you feel great, like a deep breath, like a glass of water, whatever, like a warm shower. Second exercise. So basically the first exercise, to wrap it up, in the end you write down, I am fully supported by the universe. And write down the anti-instruction to your limiting beliefs. So second thing, where am I resisting the energies instead of surrendering to them? Where in my life am I resisting the energies instead of surrendering to them? What are the energies here to show me? You can write these down and then do this exercise later. What are these energies trying to show me? Now, to surrender is a very feminine energy. To control is a very masculine energy, and we need a combination of both. We need feminine and we need masculine. We need to know when to surrender and when to do. I wrote down a couple more, but I don't see it here. But you guys get the message. Just write down these questions and answer them because they'll guide you in the right direction. Yeah, you wanted to go into that?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention like why many people are feeling disoriented right now. Like in EldoRa's example where she's talking about abundance, like many people are not feeling supported, right? That's the general theme of January. And it's occurring because the energies are so intense that they're completely disorienting our system. And since the beginning of this year, the solar flashes have just gone exponentially higher in their intensity, as well as their frequency. They're occurring back to back to back. Now, what happens when these solar flashes come in? This is all part of the ascension energies that are actually assisting in our conscious evolution. The sun's rays, the sun is actually conscious being. It's a self-aware being. It's the father energy. The sun is an electromagnetic being. It's a star that generates an electromagnetic pulse towards the earth and all of the solar system. When the sun has a very powerful explosion, it's called a solar flare. That solar flare hurls, like we'll show it in the diagram here, that solar flare hurls this stream of energy that comes towards Earth. Now see in this diagram how this flare is coming from the Earth, and the section of the Earth's electromagnetic frequency where it's yellow, green, and red, that's where it intersects with Earth's energy field. And Earth is also a living, breathing being. Earth is Gaia. Earth is a spirit, and it's a feminine force. And she also has a Markaba. She has a living Markaba which emits a field around her, an electromagnetic field. So everything electromagnetically that comes from the sun is kind of like instructions that are received by Earth, and by interacting with Earth's electromagnetic field, the sun is sending upgrades to humanity. And the way these upgrades are coming into our physical body is through magnetite crystals in our brain. So it's been proven by researchers and mainstream scientists that our brain has magnetite crystals. And these crystals, they respond very well to changes in the electromagnetic frequency around us. So our operating system is going through immense upgrades by receiving the solar radiation, and it's like a different kind of intelligence that we cannot comprehend with our logical mind, but it's expanding our consciousness. But why is it making us feel like we're not supported right now? Because we've been dormant for so long. We've been in this 3D earth energy, in this controlled matrix society energy for so long that this is the first time the energy is intensifying to the point where it's making us feel like we need to break out of this old system. We need to break out of this old system. But that old system has been housing us for so long that not wanting to belong in the old earth and not yet having a new earth to come to. That's the disorientation many people are feeling right now. We're feeling like this earth is not supporting me. I don't know where else to go, but I don't want this.
Yes.
Like this system is falling apart. It's crumbling. I need to escape from this. So all of our root chakra issues are coming and smacking us in the face right now.
Yes.
We're feeling like this is not home because this is not where I want to live. And at the same time, we have nowhere else to go. So we're in this tunnel right now where we have to make drastic changes in our lives. We have to create New Earth. New Earth is not going to come and rescue us. We're the volunteers. We're the front runners. We're the ones who answered the call. And by we, what do I mean? I mean all of you guys, all of our audience, and many awakening starseeds and light workers all around the world. We're the ones who came from higher dimensions to help Earth transition through this shift. Because Earth cannot do it on her own. Earth cannot just simply jump from 3D to 4D to 5D on her own. She needs us. She needs the light workers. And we're like a very highly trained special elite forces team. We're we're the ones who've already done this. We're the experts in this field. So many of us who came to assist Earth with this transition from 3D to 5D, many of us have already done this on other planets. And we come together from evolved planets. We come together from evolved star systems, and we come together in masses, and we concentrate our efforts during these times when there's the procession of the equinox, when a planet is going through a planetary cycle and all of its stargates are being activated and it's going to become an ascended planet. We come and incarnate on this planet during these critical times to assist with this shift. And what's needed to assist with this shift? You take on the karma of this planet. When you come into these bodies, we take on the karma of humanity. So in a sense, we're kind of like doing a favor to humanity because they could not ascend on their own. So we're like their distant starseed brothers and sisters who came here, took on the same bodies, and immersed ourselves in Earth's karma. And now we're the first ones who get to make the jump. So we also get rewards for the work we're doing. We get to have one of the most exciting journeys of a lifetime. You know how many people consider Earth to be like this negative 3D place, like this prison planet that they want to escape from? My guides were telling me there's also an opposite view that it's true. They were telling me that from our point of view, when we look at Earth, from our point of view, Earth is the most cutting edge playground in the field of consciousness.
With free will.
In the entire universe,
Yes.
Earth is the most cutting edge place where breakthroughs of consciousness are happening. And they're so important, these breakthroughs of consciousness, how humanity is expanding out of this old belief system into a new one, how we're spreading our wings after eons of time, how we are, despite all the oppression, despite all the hardships, we have not reached our breaking point. Instead, we're going through this chrysalis and becoming a magnificent being and spreading our wings. And this is just the beginning.
Again. Wow.
We're becoming angelic human beings, and to watch this marvel is something that occurs once in millions and millions of years. So the entire angelic realm, the entire ascended galactic realm, they all have their telescopes on us. They all have their ships in our orbit because we're the most important, most interesting, and most profound thing that's happened in this universe in millions of years. So think of yourself not as this poor little me who's stuck on a prison planet. Think of yourself here as a volunteer from a higher dimensional star system to assist the planet in a once in a million lives kind of event where you get the front row seat. And all you have to do is go through the karma that you've inherited.
And let's pause here. Let's pause here to really soak this in. I love this. Many of you guys might be listening to Siman and thinking, I'm not that person. I'm not doing anything. I'm not even doing anything on my soul's path yet. And that is what I want to tell you. Yes, you are. You are doing so much because what you are here to do is to absorb the karma and absorb the density and then live through it. And then through your own little leaps and bounds here and there, your every little victory, every little challenge that you overcome in life, you are actually doing your soul's divine work. You are here on divine work, whether you believe it or not. You are here, you're already on your path, whether you accept it or not. You are doing so well. And this is all your guides want you to remind you of, is how well you are doing. I'm speaking to every single one of you right now. Like, there's a lot of density on earth. There's a lot of confusion on earth. There's a lot of uncertainty on earth. And I'm saying to you guys that with full surety, please remind yourself that you are doing well, you are guided, you are protected, you are loved, you are precious, you are unique, you are all of it, you are magnificent. And if you have an addiction, or if you have like a little thing you haven't forgiven yourself for, or if you feel like you've not mastered abundance, or if you feel like you haven't got your twin flame soulmate yet, if anything there is making you feel sad, I just invite you to snap out of it and put on a different lens. Literally put on a different lens. Instead of saying, look there, my lens, literally, everything became clear when I put that on. Literally, you know what? All of a sudden you put on lens, and instead of looking at life through lack, you just look at life through abundance, saying, hey, I'm watching EldoRa Siman here on YouTube. I'm on Earth. I have all these opportunities. I have free will. I get to learn how to master my own abundance. I get to wait in suspense as I work on myself to see who my twin flame is, because he or she is obviously working on his or her lessons until we're a vibrational match to each other. So all of a sudden you go from despair to excitement. You go to hope. And this is the biggest shift that needs to happen in 4D. A lot of people are living their life in a lot of noise, in a lot of chaos and confusion and running around. And as you start peeking through the 5D tunnel, what it is it's calm, it's peaceful, it's just knowing, it's serenity. It's not worrying all the time, it's just surrendering to the fact that I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. I am surrounded by angels, Earth is doing fine, I am doing fine, everything is just fine. Take a chill pill. That is really what 5D consciousness is, because when you get to that point of peace in your life, you can create anything. You can do anything with minimal effort.
And that's all that's needed to be in a 5D state. You can access a 5D state just by being in inner peace in this very moment. And my guides were also showing me this example of this wheels of a car spinning forward. And sometimes you might have seen this illusion where you see the hubcap of a car that's moving so fast that it gives the illusion that it's moving backwards, right? You've all seen that? So that's the example of the level of changes humanity is going through right now.
Wow.
You guys are all going through so many shifts. All of us are going through so many shifts, and we're going forward in our spiritual evolution at such a rapid pace that some of us are actually feeling like we're going backwards.
Yes.
And we're feeling stuck.
Yes.
So it's
because
not
of
that
how
you're going
fast.
backwards. It's because there's so much forward momentum that we haven't even processed what's taken place. And by forward momentum, I don't mean like look at your life and see how many jobs you've got, or how many products you've purchased, or whatever. Don't look at it with 3D checklists. Look at it with an emotionally aware scale.
Look at it from your higher self's view.
Exactly. Look
Have
at
you
how
grown?
many lessons you've mastered. Look at how much you've grown.
How
Look
many
at
triggers you've mastered.
how much you've shifted.
Yes.
So these kind of changes occur over many, many lifetimes, in normal lifetimes.
And many of you are doing it in this one lifetime.
Exactly.
You guys are going
You guys
through-
are doing amazing.
Oh my God, better than amazing. Better than amazing. And we just wanted to leave you with that sentiment. I'm getting all sentimental now. And you know what? We've all come together as a tribe to literally pick up from where we left off. We've come here together as a soul family to pick up from the times of Atlantis, the times of ancient Egypt, where we all lived in glorious ways. We lived as the gods and goddesses that we are. We were doing, many of us have been involved in beautiful priest and priestess ceremonies. Many of us were keepers. I know Siman and I have been shown that we were very actively involved in the temples in Atlantis. And we have a very strong past with Egypt, which many of you have as well. All of this has happened, and humanity fell basically in Atlantis, when humanity fell and our consciousness was stunted from a 12D being to a 3D to a 2 DNA active stranded being. We are now moving back up the DNA spiral. We're moving back up the ascension spiral. We are moving up and doing something that we're doing God's work. And to really, really, really put perspective into all of your lives, I'm asking you guys to remember this. Remember the journey. Remember how we've traveled for so many years, and this is just the finish line of all the pain and the lessons, and the start line of glorious, glorious celebrations. We love you guys so much.
We're sending you so much blessings, so much healing, so much love from the bottom of my heart.
I'm feeling so much love for all of you. For those of you who are waiting for the next event date, it's on February 12th. NEMS is going to have an event from 8 to 10 p.m. and we're going to actually be doing a healing to recalibrate you. And also, we've called it Connect with EldoRa and Siman. Bring your most burning ascension questions. We'll do 45 minutes of Q&A and then end with a healing to
and
recalibrate.
this one won't be like our normal Q&A where we bring our audience on stage. We will do some audience sharing towards the end, but this one will be more of a rapid fire ascension Q&A where we take a lot of your questions and we do rapid fire answers. So we wanted to try something new so we can cover a lot of bases and give as much ascension support and assistance as possible. And just for those of you who are not aware, we have a mystery school called the New Earth Mystery School. It's like an ascension university that helps you with all aspects of your lives with practical tips and suggestions, exercises, activations, tools, meditations, lectures, all kinds of things. So we're basically your one-stop shop ascension support in one package. It's $88 a month to sign up for gold membership and $44 a month to sign up for silver memberships. Gold members get 2 events a month. Silver get 1 event a month.
And we highly recommend the gold. We consider it the fast track of ascension. And for all of our silvers, most of the silvers are slowly upgrading to gold as we see our gold numbers going up every month. But we're just keeping both options available.
So we have a very powerful ascension Q&A program coming up on February 12th, which we highly encourage everyone to join, and it's at eldoraandsiman.love, and it's very simple process to join, and we'll see you there.
I love you guys. I love you guys so much. I hope this helped. Comment below. We would love to hear from you. Sending you all our love, soul family. Continue shining bright. We look forward to hearing from you. Bye now.